Welcome. Faculty, staff, alumni, students, seniors in particular, to Rally Day 2019. Let us begin with a moment of silence to acknowledge the inhabitants who originally cultivated and preserved the land beneath our feet and all around us. Let us show our gratitude by treating this ground as sacred. Rally Day began as a commemoration of President's Day, but has evolved here at Smith over the generations to become a moment of pivot. Today, you seniors are invited to begin to reflect more deeply on the tiny seeds in yourself that have emerged in your time here and imagine how to nourish them into becoming as you go forth from this place. Today at Smith, we find ourselves at what is perhaps an especially poignant moment of change, when what is emergent calls for immediate and sustained attention. Today, we will honor some community members who are giving just that. As we hear stories today of the diverse and bold accomplishments of our medalists, combating sexual assault in the military, honoring U.S. veterans, pushing for affordable access to higher ed, composing music, producing media that crosses borders and speaks truth to power, let us listen for tropes of resistance. For we are not made great, any of us, by what comes easily, but by our persistence in what D.L. Stewart, our 2018 Otelia Cromwell Day speaker, might call critical hope. Hope already exists intrinsically in human hearts, but it must be nurtured to be kept alive. It must be grounded, it must be watered, and it must be given light, even when that light exposes things we do not want to see. At its core and at its best, this critical hope is one of the most valuable fruits of a liberal arts education. I invite us then into a day of reflection and resistance to the dominant narratives that would wilt or drown that hope in you, for you are Smith. You are engineers, artists, research and organizers. You are trans, queer, of color. You are beyond binaries. You are varying levels of ability and disability, class, background, and country of origin. You are Jewish and Muslim. You are intersectional, vivacious, energetic, maybe a little tired. You are leaders, all in varied and rich and unique combinations. Let us be inspired by those who, again, echoing the words of D.L. Stewart, believed they could, slowly and gently, yet fiercely, change the attitudes of the citizens of a broken world. Let us reflect on where we have been, inspired by the stories of those who have dared to nourish tiny seeds in themselves with no absolute guarantee of what would happen next. And let us celebrate this institution that has nurtured them and at its best cultivates the critical hope in all of us. Let us begin.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Is it on? Yes. Great. The selection that the Glee Club is about to perform was intentionally left out of the program in order to surprise our esteemed Glee Club alum, Carolyn Kwan, who is being honored with a medal today. When I arrived here in fall of 1997, Carolyn immediately made it clear to me that conducting was something she was interested in. So I said, great, we have a concert in October, conduct this. So we're about to sing the song that you conducted with our orchestra, the first time she ever conducted an orchestra. That song is Good Morning Starshine from the musical Hair. And thanks to Natalie Borden, class of 2019, that song will take us into another selection which you will all know, and we invite you to join us.
Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello. You twinkle above us. We twinkle below. Good
you. Thank you. We have a lot of alumni here. How many of you sang Dancing Queen when you were in college? Hello. We like it when a song lasts through time. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 Rally Day Convocation. Here we are. Today is a day when we come together in a spirit of pride and celebration to recognize our rich history and to honor alumni who are using their Smith education to make the world a better place. All of the Smith community is represented here today. Staff, faculty, trustees, alumni, and our medalists. And oh yes, our students, especially the great class of 2019. To the seniors, today is about you too. You are only, wait for it, 87 days away from graduation. You know you're going to miss us. This is about celebrating all you have accomplished here. We know you're going to lead lives of distinction and purpose, and think about this because it's true. Someday, one or more of you will be receiving a Smith Medal on this very stage. It's true. You'll hear today from 4 remarkable people who sat where you sit now. Alumni who wondered, when they were students, where Smith would take them. Today we celebrate their answers to that question. Let me give you some examples. Where can an English major take you? Into bazaars, markets, and the homes of millions of people learning about their own humanity through food. And a government major? To a groundbreaking appointment and work that led to a historic increase in access to higher education for generations of students. Or maybe you start as an economics and computer science major until one day someone asks you to help run sectionals for the Smith Orchestra, so naturally you become the conductor of a world-class symphony orchestra. Or maybe you decide to major in religion and biblical literature. Where can that take you? To the United States House of Representatives. These are our Rally Day medalists. Today is a recognition of how wonderfully unpredictable, tangled, and worthy of celebration the paths before you are. These paths are the fulfillment of the promise of the liberal arts. The promise that you'll be ready for anything, ready for the complexities and ambiguities that life presents at every turn. Each year, as part of our Rally Day celebration, we honor outstanding faculty and staff as well. This privilege belongs to our Student Government Association. I now invite 2 members of the Student Government Association to step forward. Maddie Weddick, Chair of the Curriculum Committee, to present the Faculty Teaching Awards, and Wafa Jawad, Vice President and Senate Chair, to present the Elizabeth Wyant Gavel Awards.
Hello and happy Rally Day. My name is Maddie Weddick, and as chair of the Curriculum Committee, it is my honor to announce the winners of the tenured and non-tenured faculty awards. Every year, Smith students are invited to nominate faculty members who have gone above and beyond the already high standards expected of a Smith professor. To win this award, you must not only be a good teacher, but a mentor and a source of inspiration. That describes the winner of the tenured award perfectly. Though outside of Smith, he is known for his work in medieval Mediterranean history, the students who nominated him described this professor as challenging, engaging, and animated. As one student put it, and as anyone who took Reacting to the Past might tell you, there's never a dull moment in his class. Even if it's not your cup of tea, he somehow gets you interested. But what really stands out in their remarks is his dedication to making his students better writers, from one-on-one meetings to late-night emails, all while showing genuine care for our well-being. For heart and humor unmatched by any other, I am proud to present this first award to Joshua Burke.
I'm just going to try not to cry. Thank you so much, Maddie. I'm already doing that. So I just want to say I was actually a little reticent about accepting this initially because teaching is such a communal endeavor. My teaching is constantly informed by my amazing colleagues, both within my department in history and across the college, who I'm indebted to deeply, but mostly to all of you. I can't imagine teaching anywhere else and with any other group of students. I learn so much from you. Everything about who I am and what I do in my classroom is shaped by those interactions. So I wanted to take a chance to really thank you for making me who I am as a teacher. And if I can say one thing, since we are transitioning towards graduation, and you'll be leaving Smith. Teaching and learning are essential to life. You've been doing that for 4 years at Smith, but you're not going to stop when you leave, right? So make what you've learned about who you are as both a teacher and a learner at Smith, make that part of you, and take that into the world outside. Thank you again.
The winner of the non-tenured award deals with an even more fraught subject than religion and politics in medieval Jerusalem. As an assistant professor in the study of women and gender, she handles subjects which are difficult for some to grasp and even harder to teach. Perhaps that's why students appreciate her passion and deep knowledge of queer theory, critical race and class theory, and visual and literary cultural production. Whether she's leading a rich discussion in Swag 100 or overseeing Zine making in the queer 90s. Students are thankful to have such an organized, responsive, and respectful woman to guide them, inspire them, and understand them. For grace and talent that leaps off the screen, I am proud to present this award to Jennifer DeClue.
Thank you so much. This is incredible. I echo what Josh said about what we do here is only kind of a reflection of how brilliant and beautiful each of you are in the classroom, as you move through the space of this campus. I learned so much from you. It's an honor to be here. This is my 4th year here, and so seniors, my first semester was also your first semester here. And it feels like this teaching award sort of helps me kind of commemorate like the end of something, like 4 years of college. Like we did 4 years of college together. What I hope that the best that we can do here as professors is like at least just plant some seeds And so hopefully, as you move through the world, some things that you've said, some experiences that you've had in the classroom with us will begin to make sense in all kinds of different ways. Hopefully you think of us as you move through the space, and you're like, oh yeah, Professor DeClue, this is what you described. I hope that we can be with you as you go off to do amazing, incredible, wonderful things. I'm so proud to know you. I'm so proud to have received this award. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Wafa Jawad, and I'm the Student Government Association Vice President, and I'm so excited to be presenting the Gavel Awards to two phenomenal Smith College staff members. The Gavel Awards have been administered by the SGA since 1985 and are given annually to two staff members as a token of appreciation for the many ways in which they affect the lives of Smith students. This year, it is my honor to present the Gavel Awards to one service staff member and one administrative staff member who absolutely deserve to be recognized for going above and beyond to help, support, and uplift students. The first award is being presented to an administrative staff member who positively impacts countless members of the Smith College community on a daily basis, working in the office of the Dean of the College. She is such a friendly face in College Hall and makes a point to connect with each student she interacts with. On the multiple occasions I've interacted with her, she has always remembered who I am, which makes her work all the more meaningful and special. I know firsthand how tirelessly she works to ensure students' experiences at Smith are not disrupted by financial limitations. She oversees emergency funding, conference funding, and the dean's schedule to ensure she is available to students, often with no acknowledgement. She deserves to know how valuable she is to the Smith community and how deeply she has affected so many students across campus, all of whom are so grateful to have experienced her kindness and care. With all this said, I would like to present the Gavel Award to Susan Zachary, Executive Assistant to the Dean of the College and Vice President for Campus Life. In the multiple roles this service staff member has served in during her time at Smith College, she is a friendly face, and it is clear how deeply she cares about students. During her time in the dining hall, she has been particularly supportive of house community and events that require collaboration with dining services. In her new role as a housekeeper, this staff member takes great care to ensure that the living space is clean and enjoyable. Every morning, she is there to say a friendly hello to students going about their morning routines. This staff member has positively impacted the lives of students, first as Emerson Dining Hall Coordinator and now as Emerson House Housekeeper. It is with great happiness that I present this award to Susan Sikowski for all she does for Smith students.
Thank you. I feel like I'm at the Oscars. I'm wearing Levi's and proudly Smith. I need to speak to the student body of Smith College. You girls are amazing, and I thank you for thanking me. But I really have to thank you all. There's not a day here that I work that I'm not inspired and encouraged by you all. All I have to do is walk down a sidewalk and read it. All I have to do is see a Post-it note everywhere. Any door, bathroom, on the trash cans, you name it, it's always encouraging. You girls should be proud of yourselves. You're all very amazing. I love you all too. Thank you. I'm deeply touched. Thank you.
We now turn to the awarding of the Smith College medals. Medalists, we are honored to have you here with us today. You embody the spirit of Smith, and we are proud to welcome you back to honor your achievements. As we heard, Rally Day was initially held to mark the birthday of George Washington. Since that first Rally Day in 1876, the celebration has evolved into an occasion when Smith celebrates its own. And through the Smith Medal, which we present here today, we honor 4 alumni pioneers, alumni who have forged new paths and broken molds, alumni who are leaders in their field, alumni who have changed the way we understand our world. I now invite Linda Smith Charles, class of 1974, and chair of the Smith College Medal Committee, to tell the story of the Smith College Medal.
Hey, thank you. Good afternoon. Thanks, Kathy. Well, the story. In 1962, the trustees of Smith College voted to establish the Smith College Medal. The medal honors alumni for their contributions, not only to their professions, but also to the world. A committee comprised of representatives from trustees, faculty, staff, and the Alumni Association recommends candidates for the award to the Board of Trustees. At this time, I'd like to ask the members of the Medal Committee to stand and be recognized for their outstanding work. Medal Committee, please stand. Best committee on campus. Yes, yes. So the medalists have been selected for their vision, their innovations, and their contributions. Each alumna has had a lasting and meaningful impact on the world at large by changing the way we think, how we work, and how we live. Over the past half century, our medalists have included chefs, senators, renowned activists, and beloved authors. And this year's are, again, contributing to that wonderful pot of medalists. So it's now my pleasure to invite President McCartney back to the podium to do what we're here to do today, award those medals. Thank you.
Okay. Nikki Songus, class of 1968, congressperson. Arriving in the U.S. House of Representatives in 2007, you were the first woman in 25 years to represent Massachusetts in Congress. Throughout your tenure, you have fought for equity, justice, and sustainability, not just in the Commonwealth, but throughout the world. As the ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee, you led bipartisan efforts to prevent sexual assault in the armed forces, to modernize the Department of Veteran Affairs, and to better address the mental health needs of those who have served our nation. You can clap for that. A senior member of the Natural Resources Committee and a founding member of the House Sustainable Energy and Environment Coalition, you fought to advance environmental protections throughout the nation. You have also championed the belief that a just government must reflect the full spectrum of the citizens it serves. History has shown, you wrote, that the inclusion of women at all levels of government and society has been an essential ingredient in America's achievements over the past century. For your commitment to public service, Smith College is proud to honor your achievements and award you the 2019 Smith College Medal.
Well, good afternoon. I don't think there's enough energy in this room. Could you up your game a little bit? Well, I want to thank you for that kind introduction and for honoring me today with the Smith College Medal. You know, it's really, I think, a special honor to be joined by so many distinguished honorees that you'll be hearing about and hearing from, but also to be recognized by the school you graduated from. As I look back over the 50-plus years, it's a lot of years since graduation, I cannot imagine what my life might have been absent the very formative experience of my years here. And I think you will find that to be the case, too, as you make your way. I first made my way to Massachusetts, and for that matter, New England, in the winter of 1965. An eager applicant for transfer to this great school. Some months later, I found myself in the living room of Gardner House. Good, there's a few of you here. I was so terrified, but so excited. Having attended high school in Tokyo, Japan, with a one-year detour to a Big Ten university, Smith and Northampton were a bit of a shock. Quaint and oh so quiet. Nothing like it is today. Maybe still quaint, but not quiet. But it was a challenge I accepted as part of being here. Little did I know that Massachusetts would become my lifelong home, nor the many other ways by which Smith would influence my life. It was at Smith that I first experienced the challenge of a rigorous, often thrilling education, and it's great to see you honor two great professors today. It was at Smith that I met classmates eager and unafraid to seek out opportunities in male-dominated fields. 50 years ago, it was through a Smith classmate that I met my husband-to-be, Paul, a Massachusetts native with a passion for public service and politics. And it was as a Smith senior that I made my first foray into politics, volunteering in New Hampshire on the insurgent presidential campaign of U.S. Senator Eugene McCarthy, who was an impassioned opponent to our country's involvement in the Vietnam War, which was a war tearing us apart at the time. But I learned something else. I have a vivid memory of sitting with a friend on the banks of Paradise Pond on a beautiful spring day as we bemoaned the absence of men on campus. And we had nowhere to go. And my friend consolingly saying, well, at least here at Smith, we learned we can do anything. Then and now, I have felt that observation's essential truth. I think it's why I remember it so well. And it has encouraged and guided me along the spectrum of my life. And so it was that 12 years ago, after a career in law and academia, at the age of 61, I sought a seat in Congress. I had never held elective office myself, though my husband had been well involved throughout our life. But I knew that this office, like few others, offers countless ways to make a difference in the lives of individuals, in the vision of a community, in the vitality of the economy, and in shaping policy decisions that affect, for good and for ill, the trajectory of our country and its mighty institutions. And I felt strongly that women's values, their perspectives, our perspectives, indeed our minds, should be part of all that difference-making. I also felt, as I often say, women cannot win if women don't run. And in 2007, I could not tolerate that it had been a quarter century since Massachusetts sent a woman to Congress, remarkably having elected only 3 in the preceding decades in our history as a state commonwealth. More than anything, I wanted to make a difference for my 3 daughters, Ashley and Katina, who are here today, and my daughter Molly in California, who is live streaming. Yep. So that future generations, especially young women, could realize the promise of America and see themselves as leaders of this great country. And so I am really proud that in 2018, Massachusetts voters elected 4 women to Congress, 3 to the House of Representatives, and our mighty U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, all part of the historic number of women now serving in Washington. Women running in record numbers are winning in record numbers. It's also true, though, that so many of my classmates have done the same in other fields, insistently made their way and opened up opportunities for new generations of women. As I stand here today, I am grateful to Smith College, a part of the times, a shaper of the times, always an advocate for women, a place where we women learn we can seek boldly and do anything. Class of 2019, excuse me. I urge you to go for it. Thank you.
Phoebe A. Haddon, class of 1972, educator. At a young age, you witnessed the power of the law to write the course of history, lift the oppressed, and provide opportunities to those once denied them. In the early 1970s, one of your aunts, a school board chair, worked tirelessly to desegregate the school system in Denver, Colorado. She wasn't a lawyer, she was an educator, you said, but she used the law in a way that was reflective of what I aspired to do. You would go on to launch a career in both law and education that has been guided by a deep sense of justice, fairness, and equity for all. The Association of American Law Schools section on women in legal education took note of your remarkable accomplishments this year when they honored you with the prestigious Ruth Bader Ginsburg Lifetime Achievement Award. Law isn't the only place where you've made your mark. As Chancellor of Rutgers University Camden, the first African American woman to hold this position, you are setting a national standard for ensuring equal access to the best possible education for any student, regardless of background. Your commitment to expanding financial aid to low-income families has resulted Financial aid to low-income families has resulted in a 50% increase in first-generation students on your campus. For your accomplishments as a lawyer, scholar, and higher education leader, Smith College is proud to honor your achievements and award you the 2019 Smith College Medal.
Yeah, my personal friends. It's so wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to be here today, and it means the world to me. In many ways, my years here offered me a chance to expand my worldview that still informs my path going forward. Like many of you, I've known that the woman I am today owes much to my former experiences here at Smith. It was formative for me. This truly humbling honor gave me the chance to think about why this is so. Now, I'm a fourth-generation lawyer, as you've heard, and educator, but I can say that Smith deepened my commitment as a passionate advocate for access and equality. And I know that many of you agree with me. I want to hear you say yes. It's a long tradition. When I started at Smith, along with my cousin, Angela Knoll, there were roughly 19 African American students here. We were the largest cohort of students of color to come in one time, and we were really proud of being here. Now, this was a relatively small percentage of the overall class, but it represented a giant step forward, and we're still moving forward every day. As students of the late 60s and early 70s, we did not sit by idly to wait our turn, and I know you will not either. Certainly the class of '72 did not sit still. We stood up, we walked out, we changed the world, and this was particularly so for women of color. So 50 years later, Smith has evolved into a welcoming place, particularly for first-generation students, and it remains committed to defining access and to empowering women, and for that, I'm truly proud. When I entered Smith, access mostly meant having access to becoming one of the next generation of leaders graduating from high school. While at Smith, the college's Ada Comstock program supported I thought I might hear from you. They supported efforts to reach older women who were first returning to college or coming back, and it was wonderful to have them among us. In those days, students were reaching upward toward a rarefied space of selectivity that, frankly, at the time, mimicked what would have been available mostly to men in some of the Ivy League schools. Today, access also means reaching outward to embrace the myriad of women who want to pursue many, many new opportunities for growth in a variety of professions and occupations. And we want you to know that as trustees, as alumni organization folks, and as people who get this kind of recognition, we are here to help you out going forward. And this is because we all take pride that Smith has taken the lead in redefining what access means for women's colleges and other places. Smith graduates can appreciate that our undergraduate education has enabled us to shatter barriers and become the leaders of our nation. So shortly after I graduated, Smith finally hired its first female president. Finally. Jill Kerr Conway. 2 decades later, Smith broke ground again by hiring Ruth Simmons as its first African-American president. And today, President McCartney continues to move Smith forward as a place of access for every woman, including first-generation women like her, and not for the privileged few. It was at Smith that I received the grounding that led me to my current position as Chancellor of Rutgers University, Camden in New Jersey, an institution committed to the egalitarian principle of access and excellence that we've been talking about. And I am proud to say that this commitment lives also in my daughter, Kara McClellan, who is herself another generation of lawyers and educators in my family. And it is supported by my husband, Frank McClellan, here today, a lawyer, a professor, and who has been my rock. Each of us here values our experiences at Smith, but we must press this institution to ensure that Smith is available to capable young women of every background, especially to those who might not see themselves thriving in this place. All of us share a common commitment to help Smith renew its traditions and at times redefine them as the world changes. The ethos of mentorship that lifted me up at Smith prepared me to support those values in a number of ways. And I serve on the board of HERS, which is an organization designed to promote women in higher education. So if you're interested in higher education, call me up and I'll tell you all about it. I spend my time before you today talking about the history of our institution and how it has helped to shape our present. But there is one thing I know to be true, and I hope you know. Smith is not the institution of yesterday. It's not the institution of the college of today. We should aspire to become the premier institution of tomorrow. And looking out at you, I know the future will always be in our vision. Thank you very much.
Lydia Tenalia Collins, class of 1988, television and film producer. Through a powerful mix of image, location, voice, and character, you tell the stories of our times. Your award-winning films and documentaries shine a light, not only on the beauty, richness, and texture of the world, but also on its complexity. Since co-founding your own production company more than 15 years ago, you have produced some of our most compelling and thought-provoking television on topics ranging from food waste to corporate responsibility. In the process, you have given voice to the mavericks and iconoclasts who take us, your viewers, to places we rarely see. For nearly 2 decades, with camera in hand, you accompanied the celebrated chef and author Anthony Bourdain on a worldwide culinary tour that was as much an exploration of humanity as cuisine. You brought us into kitchens, homes, and marketplaces as a way of expanding both our palates and our perspectives. Along the way, you changed the landscape of documentary television, fusing 2 genres, food TV and documentaries, into a satisfying blend of social commentary and cultural anthropology. For your ability to continually surprise, entertain, and enlighten us, Smith College is proud to honor your achievements and award you the 2019 Smith College Medal.
Thank you. Thank you. Really, thank you. This is just an incredible event, Rally Day event. The last couple of days have been really incredible, and I just really appreciate the honor. It's a pretty, just an amazing feeling. Last night at dinner with President McCartney, I found myself crying unexpectedly Actually, I was blubbering like an idiot. When I went to receive the award last night, it was sort of a wave of genuine emotion bubbled up, sort of a confluence of happiness for being honored so wonderfully, and a deep nostalgia for my time here as a student in the late 80s. My parents, Alfred and Adia Tenali, are here today. They gave me they gave me the gift of this incredible Smith College education, like 4 years on this beautiful campus, learning and absorbing knowledge unencumbered by the responsibilities of life outside these walls. Just what an amazing privilege it was, and one that I'm forever thankful for, and I hope to give to my kids, Nico and Milo, who are sitting there too. I graduated from Smith 31 years ago with a BA in English, and one of my most treasured takeaways from my studies is this: Juan that April with his shore suta, the drucht of March had pierced to the ruta, and balded every vein in switch liqueur, of which virtue engendered is the floor. Any English majors out there? Come on! You must recognize those lines. Those are the opening lines of the prologue of Canterbury Tales by Geoffrey Chaucer. I had to memorize and recite several pages of that prologue for a very exacting English professor here at Smith College back in 1987. He busted our chops, and I remember being very nervous at having to memorize that recitation and deliver it. But it was a big part of our final grade, so I really studied. And those lines have stuck with me ever since. And it is important to note that after I left college, I had absolutely no practical application for those lines in my everyday life after school. I never used them for a job interview or in a work project. In fact, I approached my graduation in 1988 wondering, I'm sure as many do, how best to apply my liberal arts education in a career, quite nervous that my knowledge of the Canterbury Tales would find no useful outlet in the real world. In my senior year, however, my college roommate and lifelong friend Annie Wilton, who's also here, class of '88, gave me the spark of a career direction when she asked me to help her with a video project documenting the introduction of computers in preschool classrooms. And having never shot or edited anything before in my life, I really jumped into the project with a healthy dose of trepidation, but quickly realized that it was something I really, really enjoyed. Telling stories through a visual medium was something that came very naturally to me, and I felt that I had found the beginnings of a career path. So, post-college, I sought an entry-level position in the television industry, working a variety of jobs, entry-level jobs, as a receptionist at Maisels Films, famous documentary house. I was a film loader on a documentary, an edit room assistant, any job really that would give me exposure and experience in a world that I was increasingly coming to love. And by the time I was 23, I made a very deep and very audacious determination that one day I would have a television film production company that would create content to help connect humanity. I wrote that down when I was 23. And I still have that index card with that determination on it. So I think, thinking back, it was a very bold thing for me to write at the time when I was still getting coffee for my boss. But I'm a firm believer, and I think it's something we learn at Smith in setting lofty goals. There's something shifts internally when you do that, and your life begins to really move in the direction of your dreams. I feel like that's something we've all learned here in this environment. So it took me about 15 years before I could make that dream a reality, but I wanted to share just a few things I learned along the way. the following inconvenient truths, if you will, regardless of the career field you've chosen: creative arts, law, medicine, public service. These are a few things that I've kind of captured. And again, I feel like they're things that I learned here at Smith, which is education and a diploma from a good school may get you an interview and or even a job, but that's it. The opportunity at that point is created, it's not given to you. You're not entitled to the next best opportunity. It is earned, and every day represents an opportunity to earn the next opportunity. I also learned that a big brain is very helpful, but there's absolutely positively no substitute for initiative taking and hard work. Again, something I think I learned here. So be willing to ask whatever it is you can do to help. Jump in on any opportunity to assist, regardless of how unappealing the opportunity may seem at the time, and accomplish the work as if your continued employment depends on it. No job is below you. You should always behave with a thoughtful sense of urgency. Better and faster is a good thing for any employer. I employ a lot of people. There's 150 people at my company. I still try to do this myself today. Just reply with a sense of thoughtful urgency. But patience is a virtue when it comes to advancing in responsibility and compensation. Good managers who know what they're doing will recognize real contributors and will reward you when it makes sense. So don't rush to judgment that you're getting screwed. Take some time to build trust in your work environment while you're trying to engender their trust, which doesn't happen overnight. And equally important, I learned, is active listening skills. A very good book on the subject called Just Listen, written by Mark Galston, asserts it is better to be interested than interesting. And in this day and age of self-interest and self-absorption, I think there is much room for improved active listening, and anyone with skills in this arena, which takes a lot of practice, has a competitive edge. So, as you can see, none of that is rocket science. I do think they're points that we've learned repeatedly at our time at Smith. I just wanted to add one more thing, and this is not an inconvenient truth. It's more a, thank goodness I went to an incredible liberal arts college like this one and learned this skill sort of thing, and that's the importance of verbal and written communication. As I saw pretty quickly out there in the real world that my ability to formulate a good sentence and make a clear argument on paper actually came in pretty handy as I was tasked to research and write television pitch proposals. And today, young people in my office who can articulate their verbal and written thoughts clearly and powerfully are really, they're like manna from heaven, and they get promoted very, very quickly. So thank goodness for all my exacting Smith College professors who taught me to love the English language, along with those invaluable skills. And so here's my closing thought, and I'll go back into my English major. I was particularly entranced, I remember at the time, by the poetry of William Wordsworth. I was very attracted to the humanism in Wordsworth's poems, with his deep emphasis on the life of the common individual and their inextricable connection to their surroundings and environment. Something in his words really spoke to me, and these particular lines from Tintern Abbey have always stayed with me. While with an eye made quiet by the power of harmony and the deep power of joy, we see into the life of things. And with those beautiful words in mind, I would say, strive to be people who can redirect all things towards hope, value, and harmony, because the world really needs you. Thank you.
Before I continue, I have a message for a student. Is Emily Lee here? Emily, are you here? If you are, can you please go to the foyer and someone has a message for you? Okay. Last is Carolyn Kwan, class of 1999, conductor. Each time you conduct a symphony orchestra, you signal to girls and women everywhere that nothing is beyond their reach. Encouraged early on to pursue a career in business or finance, you instead found your home at the front of an ensemble of musicians. Today is the Hartford Symphony Orchestra's first woman conductor and music director, first Asian American conductor, and the youngest conductor in its history. You stand in the shattered remnants of what the Los Angeles Times once called the glass podium. You wield a baton like a magic wand, conducting and conjuring to bring forward an orchestral experience truly new and thrilling. You brilliantly weave together diverse threads and sound, Brahms and beatboxing, shofars and bagpipes, to create, as you once said, that magic spark. For you, music is best when it is evolving and adapting, expanding its reach beyond classical borders. In your own words, when more people appreciate music, the world will be a better place. For your passionate advocacy of the arts and your belief in the transformative power of music, Smith College is proud to honor your achievements and award you the 2019 Smith College Medal.
First of all, Glee Club, you guys are absolutely amazing. Yeah, I didn't expect to be emotional, but that was one of the best performances I've seen really anywhere in the world for a long time. So bravo. And thanks for that gift. It's truly an honor to be here, to be among so many amazing women. And, you know, when I was a graduate student learning how to conduct, I saw that the New York City Ballet, one of the most prestigious ballet companies in the world, was looking for a conductor in residence. So I thought, I will apply among hundreds of other people. I was ecstatic when I passed the first round of resume and got to submit some videos of my work. I think I was one of 7 among hundreds invited to New York City to audition live at the Lincoln Center. So it's hard to describe what it's like. It's probably similar to competing at America's Got Talent, if you know that show. But instead of one Simon Cowell staring at you, you have about 20 of him. But fortunately, there are also about 20 Heidi Klums, and luckily nothing was captured for TV broadcast. After the high-stress audition, I don't remember if it was days or weeks, finally the phone rang. And on the line was the general manager of the company, Ann Parsons. I remember as if it was yesterday, and Ann's voice was commanding, yet incredibly kind and warm. "We would like to offer you the job," she said. I think my response was, "Oh my God." We chatted about a few details. Then to my surprise, Ann told me that she went to Smith. She mentioned that Smith graduates, being smart, independent, strong, and fierce, we want to make a difference. We're not very good at being told what to do. And we try to create a destiny for ourselves. Exactly what's needed to survive in a male-dominated world, especially that of conducting. As recent as a few years ago, famous conductors openly told reporters that women shouldn't be conductors. Women are a distraction to their male colleagues. Women can be strong leaders. And my favorite, women can't conduct because they don't have biceps. I'm sure that quite a few of you can show him some serious biceps. Truth be told, the journey of being a conductor hasn't been easy. It still isn't. At times, it simply feels impossible. And thinking back, I'm not sure I feel particularly smart, independent, strong, or fierce. While it's true I definitely was not very good at being told what to do, I am not sure I knew how to make a difference or create my own destiny. Nevertheless, Anne's words about Smith graduates really stay with me. And as I got to know her more, she's exactly the kind of person I admire and strive to be. Ultimately, I wouldn't be here today without the help of so many amazing Smithies. As a teenager coming to America by myself at the age of 14, thanks to the care and inspiration of my music teacher and Smith alum Sheila Heffernan, I fell in love with music. As a junior at Smith, a scholarship from alum Susan Rose made it possible for me to take the first step toward becoming a conductor. And as I share, Ann Parsons, who not only took the chance on me and gave me my very first job, we all need that, right? But also continued to be a mentor I look up to. Everywhere I go, the bond of Smith is strong. Miriam Engel, class of 13, works with me at the Hartford Symphony Orchestra. Ghislaine Sanico, class of 99, remains one of my best friends. For 10 summer, Claire Schneeberger, class of 94, hosted me at her home. I slept on the floor of her house for 2 weeks every summer so I could work at a nearby festival. Betty Evier, class of 69, who I met and spent time with and admired at Glimmerglass, and similarly, Gail Jackson, class of 69 in St. Louis, and Mary Sargent, class of 57, who is one of my board members at the Hartford Symphony Orchestra. I am so proud of Smith's diversity, equity, and inclusion. There are very few places in the world that are as welcoming and safe as here. Here, we can openly be queer, gender fluid, and use pronouns like they and them that so many places in the world still don't even realize. Here, we can have in-depth discussion about consent, so important today and what it means to us right now in our world. And here, we can talk openly about different religion and cultures. And here, we can openly and unapologetically be strong women. Every one of us belongs in this amazing club of Smith, and it's our responsibility to support each other, and it's also essential for us to support all of those who share our beliefs. So let us embrace the fact that we are smart, we are intelligent, strong, and fierce. Let us embrace our desire to make a difference and create our own destiny. And yes, let us embrace that not being good, at blindly doing what we're told. And we're Smith, we will be there for each other, and we're proud of it. Thank you so very much.
Good afternoon, everybody, and happy Rally Day. I'm Debbie Duncan, class of 1977, and chair of the Smith College Board of Trustees. Congratulations to our medalists. You are extraordinary and inspiring. Your journeys are amazing and demonstrate the value of a Smith education. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our community. Seniors, you make me so proud. In just a few months, we'll come together in a slightly different venue, hopefully with nice weather, to celebrate the accomplishments as the great class of 2019. We'll celebrate what you have achieved, both on this campus and in the larger community. We will mark your transformation from students to alumni and welcome you into a 48,000 strong network of amazing Smith alums. Alums like the medalists that we have honored here today. And that's a network that most other women do not have. As we celebrate our community, I want to remind you too of our shared history of philanthropy, of lifting each other up. This college was founded with a gift and with a dream that its students and graduates would carry forward a great tradition of helping the next generation. Through their own gifts to the Smith Fund, the alumni with us today have helped you reach this important milestone in your Smith life. Now, I ask you to do the same for the students who will follow. At the beginning of this month, we issued a challenge to the entire Smith community to help us secure 2019 gifts by February 28th as honor of the great class of 2019. So far, we have received more than 1,100 gifts, over half of that. So we still have a ways to go. But I have another exciting announcement. If we reach our goal by the end of the month, members of the Board of Trustees have pledged to make a collective gift of $325,000 in support of scholarship aid to our students. And I would like to thank all of the trustees who have made this possible. But we do need everyone's help. We're only at 1,100, and we need 2019. So this challenge is about participation. It's about donors, not necessarily dollars. So I encourage everyone who is here today to honor our students, honor our medalists, and honor Smith College by making a gift of any size to the Smith Fund. Let's rally together for Smith. I can't think of a better day to do it than on Rally Day. Let's rally for women's education and ensure that the students of tomorrow have access to the remarkable experience we call Smith. Thank you, and congratulations, everyone.
Are you expecting something now? Well, then it must be the banner contest, is that right? I'd like to invite Wafa back up here because we have some prizes. Thank you. The best use of the Rally Day theme, the banner goes to The winner of the banner goes to Chapin House. And for most creative, the banner goes to Lawrence House. So congratulations. You'll each have a little something added to your treasury. Thank you to the winners and judges. Wait, I have this feeling I'm forgetting something. Oh yes. Okay. It's my pleasure to tell you about the special guest who will join us to receive honorary degrees at commencement. I think it speaks so highly of Smith College that you care so much about this. I really do. Thank you. I'm excited too, and I'm excited to tell you who. So I think you know that these folks have been nominated by students, staff, faculty, alumni, and trustees, and reviewed by the Committee on Honorary Degrees, which consists of students, staff, and faculty, and they are approved by the Board of Trustees. So here they are in alphabetical order. Poet, scholar, cultural advocate, and president of the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, Elizabeth Alexander. President Emerita of Harvard University, the first woman to hold that post, Drew Gilpin Faust. Local hero and advocate for the homeless, Yvonne Frusciero. Congressperson and as of today, Smith College medalist, Nikki Tsongas. And finally, a MacArthur Foundation Genius Fellow, one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world, a social activist and labor organizer who has helped transform the landscape of working conditions for domestic and private household workers, executive director of the National Domestic Workers Alliance, your 2019 commencement speaker, Ai-jen Poo. I know there are some people in SWAG who are pretty excited about that, am I right? Yes. Seniors, you, your families and friends will join me in welcoming all of our honorary degree recipients to campus in May to celebrate your commencement, and I promise it will be a very special day. Congratulations again to the medalists, and now I hope all of us will go to the campus center for a reception to have some fun. The Rally Day Convocation is now concluded. Thank you, everyone.